Well, welcome back, and you would have noticed that SABC News is trending, and that's because we are bringing you the best coverage of the Zim elections. Earlier, we spoke to Criselda Lewis in Mbare in Harare, and we're going to cross over now to Tshepiso Makwetla, who is at the Four Winds polling station in Bulawayo. Well, Tshepiso, good morning, and do tell us what the mood is like there.
Thanks a lot, Sakina. Well, as you know, just several minutes ahead of that 7 a.m. open at the Four Winds polling station. So more than just about 11,000 polling stations across the country, and looking at those who've registered to vote, according to figures, 85% of residents of Bulawayo are expected to show up at polling stations. And perhaps let me introduce you to one of the first people who will be voting and who's also a party agent. Her name is Priscilla Zikali, who is an MDC Alliance party agent. A very good morning to you. Just tell us about the process running up to this point. Have you been satisfied that everything has gone according to plan, according to the law?
Yeah, everything has gone fine. We're very happy.
Mm-hmm. And you have had no problem at all as party agents in being able to execute your duties?
No, we haven't got a problem.
And you decided to be the first one to vote today. Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm very, very excited.
Priscilla, how many elections have you participated in?
3.
In 3?
That one.
And is it any different from the past 2?
Yeah, this is different.
Very different. Mm-hmm. Okay, Priscilla Zikali, thank you very much. MDC party agent there. Let's perhaps call the next person who is in line to talk to us about not only his experience, but why he is exercising his right to vote. A very good morning to you. So your name?
Morning, Troy Morrow.
Troy Morrow. And you are registered to vote in this polling station specifically?
Yes, I am, yeah.
And how easy was it? Because I hear that there are people who've been complaining about the biometric verification system for the ZEC. Have you had any problems?
I had one issue. Because I'm considered an alien, because my father wasn't born in this country, I am not eligible to vote. But in this election, they've changed the rules. So I had to get a new birth certificate and to be allowed to register to vote on the biometric voters roll.
And obviously, Bulawayo, there's not a large population of white citizens that we've seen. Is that an issue?
I don't think so. It shouldn't be an issue. I don't see that it will be.
I asked that because of the political context. As you said, your father was not born in Zimbabwe. You might have had problems. And in the past, we've heard of the white community saying that they feel alienated. What is your sense? Have you ever had that experience?
No. No, I was born and raised here, and I've never felt alienated.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And these elections, in terms of the political atmosphere, is there a significant difference for you?
Yes, it's a lot more peaceful this election. This is the first election that I'm allowed to vote in, so I'm very excited.
Thanks so much for speaking to us. Well, Sakina, we will be going to several polling stations. One of the first people who is expected to vote is former ZIPRA military leader, ZAPU leader Dumisa Dabengwa, whom we'll be going to see vote. We'll also be going to see MDC Alliance's Welshman Ngube vote, and various other agents and should I say, party representatives, including ZANU PF, MDCT, Dr. Cooper will also be voting, we understand, at about 12. We can also report that it seems that AU Observer team is here to ensure that there is a smooth running of the process. But we'll keep you all up to date. Sakina.
Well, thank you so much, Tshepiso Makwetla, out at the Four Winds polling station in Bulawayo. And as promised, we are crisscrossing Zimbabwe this morning. So we're going to go back to Harare now, where Peter Ndoro is stationed at the main polling station there. Peter, good morning.
Good morning, Sakina. Let me tell you, it's a chilly morning here. The temperatures drop pretty seriously overnight. But we're hoping when the sun fully comes out, it's going to be a pleasant day. But as you can see from just behind me, the queues have started already, and these are the first batch of voters for the day. They clearly want to get their vote done. It's the day that they've been waiting for some time. The most anticipated polls in Zimbabwe's post-independence history since 1980. That's what people are saying, and people are voting for a new Zimbabwe. Whether you're ZANU-PF or whether you're MDC, they want something different. They want something new. They have hope for a reformed economy, reformed everything, so that their lives would improve. So these are the first batch of voters, but the man that has to oversee the first citizen when he votes here a little bit later on, we're expecting him to come here at Sherwood Primary School, which is about 210 kilometers southwest of Harare, just outside a city called Kwekwe. This is where we are at the moment, and the first citizen, President Emerson Mnangagwa, because his private residence is in the area, he owns a farm here, this is where he's going to be voting a bit later on. And the man who has to make sure that it all runs smoothly is the chief ZEC official here, and his name is Mr. Govo. Thank you very much for joining us. Welcome to the program.
Morning. Thank you so much. How are you?
All right. So are you ready? The first citizen is going to be coming a little bit later on. Are you ready for receiving all these citizens and for them to vote?
Yes, we are ready, and we welcome them all for this glorious occasion.
All right. Tell me, how many people are you expecting to vote in this polling station?
At this polling station, there are two polling stations. Actually, there's Sherwood A, which comprises of 591, and then Sherwood B, 591 voters. Yes.
So it's just under 2,000 people that will be voting in total in the area.
Yes, that's true.
All right. Tell us a little bit about the procedure. What happens? They'll walk in, and then what happens?
Yes. When they get to the entrance, there are two lines there, one for males and the other for females. Now, but we are also giving preference to those the pregnant women and the elderly. So we give them preference. They will vote first. Then on the other side, we also have the two lines for females and for males.
Tell us a little bit about the ballot papers themselves, because these are harmonized elections, local, municipal, and presidential.
There are three ballot papers, one for the presidential ballot, the second one for the House of Assembly, and then the third one for the local authority.
Right. And how long, on average, will it take for a voter to go through the whole system?
On average, I have to be very honest, at most should be 3 minutes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about this area, Sherwood. We know that the president has a farm in the area. Is it mostly a farming community? Tell us about the people of Sherwood.
Yeah. The people of Sherwood, the catchment area, it touches much on a farming community. So we've got commercial farms around. Plus a mine in the Rama mine, which is also, we also get people from there. They also come to vote at this station.
All right. And security, are people going to be safe?
Very safe, I promise.
Yeah?
Yes.
I haven't seen too many. I've seen a few police cars now, and I suppose it's because of the president. But is this typical of what most polling stations are going to look like?
Yeah, because at every polling station we do have 5 police officers manning the station.
All right. Mr. Govo, thank you very much indeed. I know you've got a lot of work to do because the number one citizen, President Mnangagwa, will be coming later. But thank you very much indeed for talking to us.
You're welcome.
Okay. All right, so what we'd like to do now, that was Mr. Govo, who's the chief electoral person that's taking control of this polling station. But I want to talk to a few of the citizens that are going to be voting a little bit later on. Mangwanani mamukasei?
Mamukaseiwo.
Mamukira nasi anditi?
Tamukira zvakanaka chaizvo.
Saka muri kunzwa sei?
Ndiri kunzwa kufara nokuti pano pakasununguka, hapana kana noise, vanhu pane runyararo rwakanaka chaizvo, saka zviri kundifadza chaizvo.
Saka munofunga kuti zvichazofamba sei kana mapedza kuvhota?
Katapedza kuvhota ndinotarisira kuti zvichanaka chaizvo.
Okay, munoda kuona chii muchiti zvichanaka?
Ndinoda kungoona ngotiwo kumabasa amuke, vana vedu vagowanawo mabasa pakukura kwavo, vanoshanda vaone kuhora mari dzavo zvakanaka, kumabhengi kuwanikwe mari.
Okay, tatenda zvikuru. All right, so that was our first voter who says that she's woken up very early to come and vote, and that she's very happy that it's been very peaceful and the process has been great up until now. And her hopes are that her children and everybody will get jobs, and that seems to be a theme that's been resonating around the country. Mangwanani o mamuka sei?
Mamuka sei.
Aiwa tamuka. Saka imi muri kunzwa seio?
Ari kunzwa kufara singaiti.
Chaizvo?
Zvisingaiti.
Ndiudze, chii chamuri kutarisira?
Tiri kutarisira kuti zvinhu zvichanaka, varume vedu kumabasa vanga vane nguva vasingahori kuinda ramamaini. Saka tiri kutarisira kuti takavhota at least vanohorawo mari yavo zvakanaka. Vanawo kuchikoro, dzidzawo chikoro zvakanaka. Vachidzidzawo zvakanaka, macomputers, tichitoshuvira kuti vana vedu panapa vashandisewo macomputers. Saka at least tikavhota zvinhu zvinonaka.
All right. All right. So another enthusiastic voter. She's ecstatic, actually, that she's got this opportunity to vote. And what she's hoping is that her children will be able to get an opportunity to learn about computers. And she talked about their husbands that work in the local mine. And it appears that they're unemployed at the moment. And so she's looking forward to the vote. And she hopes that that vote is going to bring that employment. Ko iwe kanjani right?
Ndirai zvakanyanyisa munofara here imi?
Aiwa tinofara. Saka iwe unosenza here iwe?
Hatishandi vechidiki tinotofara kuti tikavhota mabasa achawanika this time.
Chii chiri kunetsa?
Mabasa sofa kwakusina. Tiringotenderera vechidiki mabasa kwakusina. Tikavhota I think zvinhu zvinobuda zvakanaka.
So wagara makore mangani usingasenza?
Sofa kubva ndibva chikoro ndane 3 years handisati ndakushanda.
Saka ukati ukavhota zvingangoita? Ndozvawakataurirwa?
Aiwa hatasiri rangu ndikuona kuti zvinoita.
Okay. Ndosaka wamukira nhasi?
Ndamukira zvakanyanyisa, ndakutorara ndachida kutouya.
Okay. Hey, atichaona. Good luck anditi.
Aiwa ndizvo chaizvinotenda.
Okay, tatenda ndisu. All right, so that was a young man who said that he's a representative of quite a number of young people who are unemployed. He's been out of school for 3 years now, and he just can't find jobs. So he's pinning his hopes that his vote is going to change his circumstances. And this is a story I think that's going to be heard quite a bit across the country. At some point, they said unemployment in Zimbabwe is as high as 90%. So this is a vote about the future, and we'll be talking to more voters a little bit later on. But let's go back to Johannesburg, and we still wait for the president to be arriving and voting at around 10 in the morning. Sakina?
Well, thank you so much, Peter Ndoro in Harare, where the first citizen of that country, Emerson Mnangagwa, will be casting his vote later on. Well, that's the lead story in